What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another video. Today's video is going to be a little different because I am not showing my face. Yes, so this is going to be the first video where I am not really showing my face. But we are going to be talking about the time where I joined a pyramid scheme. And yeah, so today's video... So yeah, this video is definitely going to be in a different style, so let me know if you guys want to see more of this video in these styles. I know there's a lot of different commentary YouTubers nowadays, and I know whatever, but I literally don't give a damn. So let's just dive right into it. So if you don't know what a pyramid scheme is or a devil corp, it's basically this company where they kind of like kidnap you and they recruit you by showering you with a bunch of gifts and a bunch of things. They're promising like, oh, financial freedom and stuff like that, and just dumb stuff that makes you lose your mind over like a job that doesn't really make sense. But let me just tell you something. So the company that recruited me, so I recently moved to California about a year ago, and I was like, I need a job. I need to get a job. I need to make some money, because that was the plan getting here. And I was thinking that I was just going to get a normal job, but no. I stepped face to face with the devil. And yeah, so with this desperation of needing a job, I was going on Indeed. And if you don't know what Indeed is, it's basically this website slash app where you can like apply to a bunch of jobs at once. So I was applying to hundreds of jobs, and no one was hitting me up at all because the job market down here is horrible. And it took me around 3 months to like 2 or 3 months to get an interview with McDonald's. And McDonald's, they did not want me, even though I have like food experience. And yeah, they didn't want me. They were kind of weird anyway. They were like talking shit about the other McDonald's and stuff like that. But yeah, that's how I was like, I don't really want to work here. And McDonald's is just not really a good job. There's better jobs that you can get are easier. And they didn't even want me anyway. So anyways, I then got a notification on my phone. Hey, buddy, we are hiring and we would like to go through an interview with you. And I was obviously so stoked, and I was so lit because I was like, finally, I got a job. I can live here. And I told myself, if I don't get this job, then I'm going to have to move back to Michigan, where I'm originally from. And I did not want to do that. So I got online and got onto this computer with this random lady, and I forgot her name is, but I'm just going to call her Jane. And Jane is this classic not old at all. She was actually very young and very attractive woman, but you can tell that she's been through this, and like you can tell that she's PR trained and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, this is cool. This is going to be like a corporate job. This is going to be like a job I go in every day, wear a suit, 9 to 5. It's going to be easy. It's going to be fun. But little did I know, this was the worst thing that I've ever gotten myself into in my life. So we got in the interview. It was online, obviously. And dang, that was a nice shot. Yeah, I'm playing this game at the same time I was telling this story. So, yeah, so we got on this interview, and Jane was like, hey, nice to meet you. Let me hear you about your past work experience. And obviously, I didn't have any corporate or management or any leadership positions ever. I've only done like a few catering jobs and a few like stuff like that. So I wasn't really that very qualified that well. So I gave her my little spiel. I told her, I was like, oh yeah, I do catering. I just moved here and I'm ready to learn. I'm ready to like step up the game. And yeah, and basically we're gonna talk about this a little more, but no matter what you say in these first interviews, they're gonna accept you. But anyway, we'll get into that in a little bit. So I was talking about, and they're like, yeah, yeah, we would love to teach you, we would love you, like, and would you like to come in for round two? And round two, I was like, holy crap, this is actually happening. I'm actually getting a job. This is my first ever, like, actual, like, corporate job for real. And they weren't hiding the fact. Like, they weren't hiding the fact that that's what was happening. But they didn't tell me anything about the job until I applied to it. So they kind of, like, left me out in the dust and didn't really tell me anything about the job until I was already applied and written contracts and stuff like that, which was another one of their tricks to get me in the goddamn pyramid scheme that they were getting me into. And yeah, where was I? Yeah, it's just another one of their tactics they use. Like, they don't really tell you what what it is. But they basically just told me it is like a sales position, business to business sales position. And business to business sales is a little bit different from door to door sales because instead door to door sales, you have to go door to door in neighborhoods and knock on the doors. I mean, that is kind of stressful, but what we had to do is go from business to business in like stripping malls, or not stripping malls, strip malls. That'd be cool if there was like stripping malls, but we had to go business to business near the Mexican border, like basically damn near in Tijuana, and try to get these people to. Well, we'll get into that in a little bit. So, anyways, she was like, "Yes, we would love you," and um, we would love you. Oh shit. We would love you, and yes, please come in. So I came in for the interview, and it was like a few days later. Honestly, usually it takes a long time for the second interviews to happen. Anyways, um, yeah. So I came to this interview, and I was waiting in the lobby. I was like, so basically, they told me that there was only a few spots left, and like out of 100 people only 20 get chosen, and out of 20 people only 5 get chosen. That's what they told me. And I was like, okay, dang, I'm ready for this. I am so hype. I'm like, I'm down. Like, I'm gonna kill this. I'm gonna make so much money. This is like the new thing. But when I got there, there was like 20 people there about looking like they're thinking about the same thing I was thinking. You know, like, oh, they're gonna kill this, and like stuff like that. It was so competitive and so weird. Like, just the interview was, and I wasn't even talking to anybody. I just felt the energy of this competitiveness and like felt this energy of the devil. And yeah, like, so they were calling out names, and I was like, so I was ready to go. I was so excited to go, and I was like, what am I going to say? This is like, I'm wearing a suit right now. Everyone else is wearing a suit. This is insane. Like, how, like, they're not going to hire me or whatever. And so I went and sat down, and they did interviews with like two. Like, they did it by two. So instead of it just being you and another person, it was you and two, like, another person. You know, it was like you, another person, and then the person interviewing you, which was kind of weird. So it was just me and this guy, and what is it? Um, he was talking about how he like resells shoes and stuff like that because it is a sales position. You know, you need to know how to do sales. And he was talking about how he sold shoes and how he's wants a new like way to live and stuff like that. And yeah, basically he did a pretty good job on the interview, and it was kind of intimidating me. And I was like, okay, my turn. And my response was like not that great, but his response like was pretty good. Like, for me, they didn't have to hire me, but they did. And that really opened my eyes to a lot of things. So anyways, I got the job, whatever. Cuz with these demon core pyramid schemes, they don't really care if you're good and skilled at the job. They just want to recruit you so they can make like money and stuff like that, which is like a normal pyramid scheme, but they did a really good job covering up the fact that this was a pyramid scheme. Anyways, I came to my first day, and let me tell you, I don't have a car. I don't have anything like this. So when I tried to go, I had to like bike there, you know, and the days start at 6 in the morning. So I had to go like I had to go at 4 or something and bike there and get there early as hell and wear a suit and stuff like that, and it was just not it felt weird. I felt like I wasn't really in my body and stuff like that. And yeah, I walked in. There was like this little coffee store, like this little outdoor coffee stand that I went to every single day before work. They had like bagels and bagel sandwiches and coffee and stuff like that. And I appreciated that. That's kind of what made me sane. And we'll get into that a little bit later. But then I went upstairs, and it was like my orientation day. It was my first day. And when I got there, let me tell you something real quick. Remember when I said that there was only like 2 people that could get in, and there was like 20 that applied, but only 2 people that get in? Let me tell you something. Everyone that applied was there. Like everyone that I was with at the interview place was sitting right next to me. And I was like, this is the first lie that I caught. I was like, what the hell? Like, I thought that I would got lucky. Like, I thought I was special and stuff like that. But no, like, they literally hire anybody and just tell you that it's more a special job than it actually is, just to get you. And let me tell you something real quick. Uh, we had, like, so when I got there, they were, like, chanting out, like, usually these demon core pyramid schemes have like team building activities, but it's literally just a cult. Like it's literally just like a cult, and they're chanting out in these circles and like money plague, money rituals and stuff like that. I don't forget what they said, but they were doing like these chants, and then they called people up to the front to do like their ceremonies of getting their first sale. And I was there, so I got a ceremony, and I'll get into that in a little bit. But yeah, so it was just weird. I was like, why are these people chanting? This is not a normal job. Like, I thought to myself, this is not a normal job. This is like a team. And so basically we had to get orientation, and we sat down, and it was me and all these people, and I was kind of scared because no one was really my age. Like, everyone was old, and everyone was from different walks of life. Like, they honestly do not care who they put in these like quote unquote jobs. They do not care at all. And so there was people with like face tats, there was people that were like gangsters, there was people that were like literally like random, like moms, like random ass people. And I'm like, okay, I'm getting a little like, for me, like, I'm very aware of what I'm doing and where I am and what is happening in life. So I was like, something is not right. I am getting the heebie jeebies, and I need to figure out how I'm going to get myself out of this situation, because I literally just moved by myself. And if I like fuck this up, if I do this wrong, I might be fucked. I might be homeless on the street. But so basically it was orientation, and this was the first ever day that I got accepted, and we were starting, and it goes like this. This is like the day one. I'm starting from day one right now. Right now, I'm starting from day one. All that other stuff was telling you about what it was and like blah blah blah. So, anyways, we sit down in this room, and the doors are locked, obviously, and it's like a room outside of another room. And this office building is like 4 stories up. And we sat down in this like office room, and I keep saying that. Sorry, I keep spiraling. And this guy walks in, and he is wearing. So usually everyone wears like a suit that's like black and stuff like that, or like a tie, like a suit and a jacket. But no, this guy wore like a fitted out custom suit that was like olive green and a special like canvas material like with these like alligator like shoes on. And he was very young. Like, he was like 20 years old. Like, he was the same age as me. And the backstory of him is, this is what they say. He used to work at In-N-Out, and he wasn't making money. He wasn't happy until he joined this company. And this company brought him up and made him rich and made him have financial freedom in just the span of 2 years. And I definitely like resonated with the story. I'm like, yes, that's me. That's so me. Like, I just moved here. I like need a job. And they make it so it seems like you have to follow and be like this guy. And this guy was very attractive. He was like blonde. He looked like a track coach kind of type deal. Um, he had blonde hair. He was just like a dude that's 20 years old, very tall, custom suit on. I don't know. And like the and he was telling us like he was just like telling us kind of what this job is about and what we're doing and who they are. And this is what they didn't tell us in the interview. So who they work for is a company called, you probably heard of them, AT&T. And what they do is, if you don't know what AT&T is, it's basically an internet server like T-Mobile or Cox or stuff like that. And they need like people to be connected to their servers so they can make money. So what they do is hire these companies called, like, I don't know, like outstretched companies that are not actually affiliated with AT&T, and they get them and they make them recruit them to like the Demon Corp, kind of like to their pyramid scheme. And yeah, so like we sell like, I don't know, like basically you go to the AT&T store, get like a chip for your phone or stuff like that. But instead of being in the store, we were going business to business, selling it, you know, like pitching, doing the pitch and stuff like that. And that was very, very different and new to me. And I don't know. And so when this guy was explaining all of that stuff, he was saying it in a way that was like almost supposed to be like impressive. Like I don't know, like he knows his shit. Like he's like he knows his sales shit. You know what I mean? And everybody there was like, I'm gonna be a salesman. I'm gonna be the best like salesman that there ever was and stuff like that. Like how these people are. Like you see them. You know what I mean? And like it's kind of weird. Like I'm not like that. You know, I don't want to be like the sales guy that is like the best at sales and can sell anything to anybody and just make so much money and manipulate people's brains and stuff like that. That was not me. So when this person was explaining that, he was like doing that to us. He was kind of pitching it to us, and I saw right through it. And like everyone was like, dang, dang, you know, like everyone was saying like dang to what he was saying, and I forgot what he was saying, but it was like some stupid ass shit. He was talking about phones and shit like that. And what is it? Yeah, so I was not having it, and everyone, there was like a few people that were like the popular kids in the group, basically. It was so weird. It was like an elementary school. So there was like these two people, and they were both like dapping each other up, saying like, dang, this guy like knows his shit. And I was just not having it. I'm like, this guy's definitely a douchebag. Like, I've watched enough movies to see, like, to know that this guy is going to end up being a douchebag. And I was right. So moving on, once we're out of that orientation, we kind of go to this office area, like this main space, and we do these kind of chants. And they were like, don't feel sad if you don't know them right now. Like, so they didn't really teach us. We just had to catch along. They're like, don't feel sad. Like the manipulation there was insane. And now I'm realizing how like insane it was. But they were just like, it's okay if you don't know it now. Like you'll learn it. You know what I mean? And that's kind of their tactic they use in a lot of these like scenarios, and a lot of these pyramid schemes. They do that. Like, don't feel bad that you don't know it. You'll learn it someday. Like, wow. You know what I mean? So basically, we do these chants. I forgot like what the chants were, and then these ceremonies of people getting like their first sales. So I'm like, okay, this job is definitely like doable. Like, I bet I can get my first sale. Like, but it was so hard. Like, oh my god, I gotta tell you. So they were doing these ceremonies and stuff like that, and they had like these guest speakers, and these guest speakers were the most manipulative cult leader type. All right, I'm getting ahead of myself. These people were like normal business people, but they had this like speech, and the speech wasn't like, oh, this is how we roll. It's like this mental like I don't know, like, but yeah, they did this like pep talk that wasn't really like, oh, this is our company, this is how we do it. It was like an outsourced person that they like hired to talk to the team and have like a motivational speak. but it wasn't like motivational speaking. It was like, I'm good, you're bad. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It was like, I'm like this way and you'll be like this way eventually if you just do the things that I do. Like, that's not motivation. That's like manipulation. You know what I mean? And there's two different things, and that's like what they did, you know? And I was not too fond of that. I was like, wait a minute, this is like probably a cult. That's what I said in my head. I was like, this is probably a cult. Little did I know I was right, and I literally got stuck in their trance of goddamn cult. So, anyways, moving on. After this like office thing, there is this like this is not even work yet. Like, we're not even working yet, and we're just going through this like ceremony, like pre-ritual before we actually do what we need to do. And so we like basically got into groups. And oh, let me tell you this real quick. But so the day is structured like this. We go to work, and then there's like an hour of like exposition and like people teaching you things like sales tactics, basically. So an hour of that, and it's just like a team member with a whiteboard, and they're teaching you like, oh, the 5 A's, or like, I don't know, just something random. Like, I don't know. I don't really care anymore. It's not really that important to the story, but just to let you know, they were teaching us like things about sales and stuff like that. And about like mental mind and not being scared to get that yes, and like just sales tactics. I don't know how to explain it. And there's like an hour of that, and then there is 7 hours of going out to, quote unquote, it's called the field. And the field is basically like everyone has their own field, and everyone has their own like territory. And mine territory was all the way down by the border, where like San Diego area, like all the way down in the border, kind of where Mexico is. So no one knew how to speak English, which was another thing that I might add. But let me just tell you something real quick. We got to this field, and like I was kicking it off with this one guy. Like, I forgot his name. Oh, I'm gonna call him Daniel. So me and Daniel were kind of like the unstoppable people, and the people that were like, I don't know, like the people, like the youngest people there that had the most potential. Like, we were unstoppable, you know. If it was me and him, then we literally could do anything. And if I didn't meet that guy there, then I don't know what I would be doing right now. Like, that job would have been sucked. But let me just tell you that we got to the field, and I'm in this full suit. Like, I'm in like this full ass suit with dress shoes on, and I'm ready to knock on some businesses. I'm ready to knock on some doors and sell some AT&T. Oh, I forgot to say that what we were selling is like, oh wait, I did say that. No, I did say that. Wow, what am I doing? So I'm ready to go sell some goddamn phones. And the commission that you get on these phones is like a lot. Like, if you sell a phone, you will get like $300. And that is like what you want to be focusing on the most. Like, you can sell like internet and like stuff like that, but what you want to be focusing on is selling iPhone plans to people, and you get a lot of money for that. And that's kind of the goal. And yeah, it was the hardest one to do because it was the most expensive one to sell, but I got it. Anyways, we got to the field, and automatically I was like, I'm tired. Like, what the fuck? Like, I'm scared. I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like, so let me tell you, it was when we got to the field, it was, sorry, this story is kind of being jumbled up a little bit, but we got to the field, and it was me, Daniel, the guy I was talking about, and then this Indian guy named, I'll just call him Hajib. Indian guy named Hajib. That's like the most like typical Indian like guy. I don't know, like an Indian guy, Indian accent. You couldn't really understand what he was saying. And then there was this like Arab guy named, I'll name him like Boss. His name is Boss because he was kind of the boss. But he was exactly like us, but he just knew more. And he was like from Florida, and he did the same thing but in Florida. And basically he like knew what to do. So he was the one going in businesses and like doing stuff because we didn't really know what to do. So we were like we had to shadow the people. So if you shadow somebody and they get a sale, then you get part of that sale. So I was gladly happy to shadow boss man over here, like, and when I shadowed him, I was like, he was getting sales, he knows how to speak Spanish. He was getting them sales. We were out there, you know, but little did I know, like, these days that I'm working are like absolutely like treacherous. So like we got there, I thought I was gonna be like a few hours and stuff like that, but no, like we got done at 7 o'clock, and let me tell you, like we started at like 1 o'clock, so that's like already 6 hours. And if you don't get enough sales, if you don't get any sales, basically you don't make any money. So it is 100% commission based only. Like you don't get a base pay, which is stupid. And that's what makes it like the Demon Corp. That's what makes it like the cult. Like you don't get a base pay. Like if I got a base pay, I would probably still be working there right now. But we like got no money, and I needed money to survive. I needed to pay rent because I was behind. I was behind rent, and I needed this. And basically we were getting these sales and stuff like that, and I wanted to go home so badly. I like tried to make a bunch of excuses, like out, like can I go out, like can I go, like what is it, um go to the bathroom and stuff like that. And yeah, I was obviously allowed to, but it wasn't that restricting. But it was just weird walking into these stores, like being on the other side of like a salesperson, you know what I mean? And then there was this pitch that I had to like, they handed me a paper and they were like, you have to learn this in 1 day, or like we can't, like you have to learn this and you have to prove that you like can learn this and stuff like that. And I did that. I learned it. I went home and I learned this pitch, and this pitch was like the stupidest thing ever. Like if I just was talking to them normally, I feel like I would get more sales, and which I did. I got a sale, but we'll get into that in a little bit. Anyways, I read this pitch and I'm like, okay, I gotta remember this for tomorrow. But like for me, like I'm a weed smoker, and this job isn't really for weed smokers. This job is more for like people that want to make themselves like do better in life and stuff like that. And that's not me. So when I got home, I smoked a weed, and I kind of just forgot everything that I'm like, I forgot how to like, I forgot the pitch, I didn't really, I'm not going to remember it in the morning, and I didn't, and that really held me back in this job. But now looking back at it, I don't really care. Like, fuck that job, you know what I mean? Um, but like, so I had to like remember it that day, the next day I came in. And let me tell you, we only had 1 day off. So it was 6 days a week, and then we got Sunday off, which was fucking insane. But let me just tell you this, like, so it was the second day, you know, I got my coffee, I got my bagel and stuff like that. I got my shit. I got my shit to be ready for the day. I walked my bike up. I'm in my suit. I'm ready. I'm ready to see my friend. And today was a little different because today I am going out by myself and trying to get sales and stuff like that. And it was weird because I was with my partner, like my friend. I forgot what I called him, Daniel. I forgot what I called him, but I was with him, and I was always with him. I don't think I could have done it without him, honestly, and I really appreciate him. And if he's listening to this right now, appreciate you, bro. You know who you are. He also quit the job, but I'm getting into ahead of myself. So we were going door to door, just doing these sales, like hitting these businesses back to back. But what I wasn't really doing was getting sales. So I was kind of just going into these businesses, talking to these people, not really trying to pay attention to the plot, and just talking to them just to talk to them. And I obviously did say like, oh, like, obviously did say to them that, oh, I am for AT&T and I do like sell stuff. And they knew that, obviously, but they weren't about to buy shit, you know what I mean? But in the mentor's mind. Like the Indian guy was watching this, and he was not too happy about that. He was like, "It's a waste of time. It's a waste of time." I don't know. I don't want to be racist, but he said it was kind of a waste of time if you talk to people and you know that you can't get a sale. And I'm like, wow, that is very dehumanizing. That is very like that's a crazy thing to say. You know what I mean? And that really made me just not like this guy. I forgot his name, Haji. I forgot what I called him. Anyways, he was cool though. Like he was the coolest Indian guy I knew. He was pretty badass. He told me his story and he said that I forgot what his story was, but it was very unique. And I'm like, I really turned me into a new light of this guy. And so basically, we were driving to and fro these spots, like these strip malls, and literally any business. It doesn't matter. Literally any business, and it's not even about business either. Like we could have done it like we literally saw random people on the street and we just talked to them, and we literally were trying to get them to buy our Amazon, or not our Amazon, our AT&T things. And like it was weird. Like it felt like I was like a scammer, and I was, like I wasn't not a scammer. You know what I mean? And oh my god, like I'm just remembering all of this stuff right now, and it's just crazy. So we literally, oh fuck, me and Daniel um cut that out. If you're editing this video, cut that out. I just said his real name. So me and Daniel basically were just bumping songs in his car and singing really loudly, like annoying the fuck out of him. Not on purpose, just we were like it was a coping mechanism. I feel like we were so stressed out about what was happening, like us working here, we just had to like blast some music sometimes. You know what I mean? But anyways, moving forward, it was like a few days later. I was kind of getting the hang of it. I was going by myself. I had an app on my phone. You know what I mean? And yeah, it was going pretty good. I was making friends. I had a good schedule. I was getting there on time every day. But I wasn't making any sales. Like I wasn't like doing that great of a job, but I was trying to like show people I was. And every time that I would go out in the field, I would just waste time and do random shit that I wanted to do in a suit. And one of these things was like so in San Diego, if you don't know, is something called like the boardwalk. And this boardwalk is kind of like a mile long, I would say, and it's just around like the beach. And it's got a bunch of vendors and a bunch of stuff like that. So we were like, oh, what if we go there and get sales? But we kind of just walked around and didn't really like talk to anybody. We just like me and Daniel just talked to girls and like I don't know, just like fucked around and like we didn't really like focus on the mission. And the Indian guy was with us and he was not too happy. We're like Hajid, if you really want to make sales, you can go off by yourself. But he didn't really know how to make sales either. He kind of was using us to like feel comfortable in a situation, because he was nervous too. Because he's like, oh, what would you do if an Indian guy came up to you, like asking you to sell, asking to sell some like phones to you? I would say no as fuck. You know what I mean? So he was using us, two pretty white boys, to like make him. I don't know, because for us, like he said, our approach was more like friendly and more like personable, but he was more like technical about it, and that's what like he was. I don't know, but anyways, yeah, we would just kind of waste time, and yeah, so it was like day 3 or something like that, and I was like, okay, I need to make money. I need to make this fucking bread and stuff like that, and the only way I can do that is if I make a sale. And I knew that in the back of my head, but I was like, no way, that's true. Like, I just want to make money. I can't believe it. Um, but let me just tell you how I made my first sale. So we were walking in this shopping mall, and we were hitting all these businesses. We had a plan and stuff like that. We were like, oh, we're going to hit this one. We're going to hit that one after. And there was this Sally's Beauty that I walked into, and I was like, oh, they're not going to fucking, like, whatever. It's a Sally's Beauty. They don't need phones and stuff. They need beauty products and stuff like that. And I didn't have any beauty products on me. So, I walked in and I just was goofing around. Like I didn't give a shit. I was like, "Hey, my name is Bodie. I'm with the CIA, and I just have some questions. Can I speak to Sally?" And they were so confused. And obviously, this was a joke. I'm not from the CIA. Sally's Beauty, like obviously, she doesn't exist. It's a store. And they're like, "Who? Who do you need to speak to?" And I was like, "I just need to speak to Sally. Like it's really important." And then they're like, "I don't know a Sally." And I was like, "Oh, first name Sally, last name Beauty," and then they got it. Like they literally got it after that, and they were laughing so hard. And I was like, "Yeah." So basically, we're from this company and stuff like that. I was like, "I lied to you, whatever." And yeah. So I got their information, and I got them to do a sale with me. So yes, confirmed a sale. Yes, but it was very lucky. Like I don't think anyone could do that approach and still and get a sale. But anyways, so I got the sale and I was so happy. I was like, I got my first sale, and I thought I was like fucking king of the shit. I was like, I don't give a damn. I'm gonna, I thought I was king, basically. And uh, my friend, the person I was doing it with, was like jealous and stuff like that. But I don't know, like he never really got a sale for some reason. And what is it? So moving on, like remember when I was talking about how they did ceremonies for people that kind of get their first sales and stuff like that? Yes, so that happened to me the next day, and I could not be prepared for what literally happened. Um, so I got there the next day, and they were doing their like ceremonies and stuff like that. These like chants and stuff like that, and they were like, "All right, Bodie got his first sale, whatever," and they put me up like they like put me on this like thingy thing, like this pedestal, and they like put me on the spot. Like they were asking me so many questions. They're like, "How did you do it?" Like what do you mean? How did I do it? Like I literally was joking around, and I somehow got a sale, and it took me like 3 hours. Like it's not a short amount of time that these sales get. You can't just press sale and then you get a sale. It's like you got to sign them up. It takes hours, you know what I mean? And I couldn't say that. I wanted to say that, but I couldn't. And I was just like, yep. And I just talked to him, smiled, and blah, blah. Just like textbook stuff. You know what I mean? Like just dumbass textbook stuff that never actually happened. And I knew that it didn't happen. And I still I'm like, wow, I'm falling deep into this cult. Like I'm actually like wasted from this cult. And coming down some time, I still work there, and I was not getting any sales. I needed money. I was hungry. I literally, all I did was wake up, go to work, come back, and the hours were 12 days. And if I'm working that much, or it was 12 hours, and if I'm working 12 hours, I want to be paid 12 hours. Like, I want to be paid for that. I was working like 70 hours of goddamn day or a week, and I wanted to be paid for that. I want to be paid for my time. And I was like, okay, I'm going to quit my job, and I'm going to do it today. And I woke up with a new leaf turned around in my mind, a new locked in state of mind that I was in. A new leaf was turned over in my head, essentially. And I woke up that day ready to quit my job. So ready. And I woke up I didn't even get a bagel. I didn't even get a coffee. I didn't get a bagel. I dressed up still. Like I still wear my suit and stuff like that. But I was ready to quit my job. And I was like, hey, blah, 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 boss lady, creepy boss, like corporate boss lady, because it was obviously one of those, creepy corporate boss lady that kind of runs the shit, has trophies, has like a big desk. Basically, creepy old boss lady. Not creepy. She was kind of fine. But that's what made her creepy, that she was fine. But I was like, hey, creepy old boss lady, like, I had to talk to you for a little bit, and a little bit was kind of an understatement. I was literally in her office, bawling my eyes out, saying how much I hate this job and how much I hate working here, and like how it's a cult, and how I need to actually get paid for my time, and how like this job is not for me. You know, I'm more of like a creative type of person. I can't just like I can't just do this. You know what I mean? And she was like smiling, doing her like HR smile, just like, yeah, I understand, I understand. And I was literally bawling my eyes out and stuff like that. And she wasn't too hesitant to let me go because I think she knew that like I knew that it was a cult, because she was like, yeah, I know it's a cult. You know, she told me that. You know what I mean? She was like, yeah, I know it looks like a cult. And but she still works here. And that's kind of what made me like, oh yeah, no, fuck this job. Like I can't work here. This is literally a cult. Like I can't believe, like, it's either like with these jobs, it's either you are on the top or you're on the bottom, and that's how pyramid schemes work. There's no, you gotta like take their place, and I was determined to. You know, I have a very determined mind, and I was ready to like let everything go and be the top on this job. You know, I want to be the richest person at this place just to show them that I can do it. You know what I mean? But like that's what they get you at. That's how they get you. You know what I mean? Like they don't actually care if you succeed and stuff like that. If you succeed, they succeed. You know, like for them to be on the top, you need to be on the top as well. And I'm glad that I got the fuck out of that job. And oh my god, I'm just thinking about it now, like how dangerous these things can be and how they can like ruin people's lives. And it almost ruined my life, you know? Like I'm so lucky I have support and people around me to support me, but like anyone can get trapped in these like pyramid scheme type of jobs, and it could literally ruin your life for like your whole life. Like, oh, you'll go to the job and you will like think it's like this job, you will throw everything away. You'll be like, Mom and Dad, I'm so happy that I got this job. What phones do you have? You know, like try and I don't know, like so happy that you got this job and stuff like that. And just to find out that it's a pyramid scheme and they don't really care about your success and they don't pay you, and you only get commission, and if you make sales, you know what I mean? And I just wasn't like they made it seem like an actual job, you know? They made it seem like an actual corporate or an actual like 9 to 5 job, but it was literally just a pyramid scheme, and I am so glad I am out of it cuz I only was there for like 1 week exactly. But that 1 week felt like oh my god. The 1 week felt so long because it was literally 12-hour days. I had to bike to work every day and bike back, and it was like up this big ass hill. It was like the one of the worst experiences I've experienced in my whole entire life. And I recommend if a job seems too good to be true, it probably is. And make sure you don't go on Indeed and apply for 100 jobs and like join every single one of them, because what you're gonna find is literally the worst nightmare, like your worst fucking nightmare in your worst nightmare in your life. So anyways, that was a little bit about my life and a little story time. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. I know it was like in a different format and stuff like that, like I'm playing a video game and talking about this, and but you know, like sometimes I just don't want to be like, sometimes I don't want to be seen, stuff like that, you know, but it's okay, you know, like let me know if you want more of these story time. I got a lot of stories that I need to tell. Let me know if you want some of these story times, and yeah, my name is Bodie, and thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.